Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the SMB TV Presents the Power Review Show with the Sunday Morning Breakfast crew. I'm Preach, here with everybody, Bino, Crystal, Voice. We just finished watching episode 505 titled Happy Birthday. First off, I think it was one of the best episodes this season.
Probably the best thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no nudity, but that was fine. I got over it.
That?
Yeah,
I
didn't see nudity. So let's start with the first scene, which it started off with a cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. So you have Tommy and Sam pinned against one another and challenged by the family, and they're forcing Teresi to make a decision because one of them got to go. Mm-hmm. And we see that Teresi decides he was going to off. Well, he thought he was going to off Sam. Now, y'all remember, him and Sam have a long relationship, best friends, the closest person he has in the family. But I guess he decided to off him, not knowing that the gun wasn't loaded. So what did you guys think about that scene and it starting off that way?
I actually want to ask you, why do you think he would do that?
Do what?
Like off Sammy rather than...
Because he can't off Tommy because he needs Tommy.
He needs
to
Tommy.
stay out of jail right
Absolutely.
now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The most important thing and the only thing to him right now is his wife. That is it. Even over friendships of 20 years or whatever.
And on top of that, if you think about it, his best friend knows all his secrets too. So even if you offed him, that's the only one that would really know anything anyway.
Right. Right. Which is, I think, is like confirmed. He's snitching because they have this conversation later on in the episode. I guess he fully acknowledges that he's using Tommy and plans on turning him in. Maybe he has a plan up his sleeve to possibly, weasel his way out of this. You believe that they're working together. Him and Tommy are working together. Yes, I guess Teresi's going to feed the FBI certain information and thinking that he's actually helping them out. Yes. When in reality, you think he and Tommy are working together, I guess, to
conspire.
Okay.
It's a possibility, but you know who won in this scene too? Ghost and Kanan.
Right.
Because they got the mob, Vincent in particular, to distrust Tommy.
Right.
You notice he told Tommy, their deal is over. No more distribution as far as the drugs go, anything like that. Like they got Tommy away from the Italians.
Right. I think one of the biggest themes with this episode is you see a fully unraveled Ghost. Where you mentioned in prior episodes, we saw the drinking was becoming a problem, and I think here you saw the apex of that, where now he's fully drunk, acting out, not being responsible. He meets up with Angela again. And it's also the birthday of. I think two of us discovered that they were actual twins.
I had no idea. I had no idea that they were twins.
I didn't know they were twins either. But but it is the twins' birthday. It's Raina and Tariq's birthday. So and obviously they're celebrating it with one less person. But
how's the baker the only one in the city that doesn't know Raina's no longer?
Yeah, I know. That's a good.
It's little Raina. I miss her little potato face. There about that.
Awkward.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with that. That was the whole theme. That's why it was titled Happy Birthday. But yes, it's the twins' birthday, Tariq and Raina. And now you're seeing everybody having to struggle with the fact that it's just another reminder that Raina is no longer here. And each person is dealing with it in their own way.
Right, and you saw it at the dinner table when everybody was really quiet. Like It wasn't like a festive birthday. Oof. And even though Raina's not there anymore, it's still Tariq's birthday. It was not festive at all. It was like they were celebrating the life of someone who just passed.
Right, absolutely. And Tasha is, I guess, becoming closer and closer to her boyfriend or her lawyer friend or what have you. And now, as we see in the previous episode,
something smart coming from Vito.
In the previous episode, she basically drew the line in the sand and said, "I'm out." And now you kind of see her moving forward. She's moving to a hotel, and she has plans on, she still has to beat this case though, because now the NYPD's up their ass now, as far as figuring out who killed Raina.
And that same cop who got the case taken from her from Angela, she's on it, again, like we discussed last week, it's getting personal to them now. Now it's not just a job, like it's. All right, there's some funny business going on here. Yeah, and she's looking at Tasha as Tasha's explaining about how the whole gun got stolen, and she registered it with the cops or let the cops know that the gun was stolen, blah, 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 blah. Right. She right there, she checked on it right there. Ain't let no grass grow, checked on it to make sure Tasha's story is true.
Right. No, I just wonder there's just so many, I don't know if the series itself there's too many angles now. I don't know if that's the case. because now we have to worry about what Kanan's doing. Because now we're looking at Kanan, and he has something up his sleeve. And always we see it, obviously, with the first meeting with the three of them, and Tommy telling him about the situation with the Italian family. But Kanan, I think they've made Kanan this year more of a personality, a funny personality, or more of a jovial figure. As you can see with this episode, with the bike, obviously his situation with Kendrick Lamar's character.
Crystal said it best. There's no acting involved with him.
Kanan
does everything in this show that 50 would do, except start shit on social media.
Right.
Like at some point, he's going to. He even sent Tariq a text message. With a damn Bitmoji. What?
It looked like him too.
In a bit, they're gonna have Instagram. You're gonna see Kanan on Instagram.
I'm pretty sure it's
harassing ghosts.
With 0 followers, following 3,000 people.
That's why you don't have your daughter anymore, man. And just have pictures with him and Tariq. Like it's getting that ridiculous.
Nah, it's getting
Kendrick
nuts.
Lamar. Let's talk about him a second.
How'd you think he did?
Excellent.
And I had no faith in this whatsoever. I'm like,
Yeah,
why
usually-
is Kendrick Lamar in this?
Yeah, usually they put those type of rappers or entertainers in those positions to kind of see like, all right, we're gonna put you in something. No, I think he fulfilled the role really well.
He got that. He played a druggie to the T.
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole smartness of a druggie. If you meet a smart druggie, the way they speak and they sound out of this world, he did that aspect. He was almost, Paul's lovable character of a guy.
Right.
Like he was like when Kanan pulled the strap out on him, I'm like, oh come on, don't kill him.
Yeah.
I was glad that he did.
Right. And he actually gave him the gun and said, "Yo, sell it, make some money." So that was really dope of him. What'd you think,
That
boys?
scene right there marks to me the second time that you saw Kanan feel sorry for somebody, have a heart. Because he was going to, at the end of the day, when he finished taking care of business with Kendrick, he was going to off him. What seemed like.
Right.
And then afterwards, he decided to have a change of heart and just give it to him so he could.
Well, let's talk. Well, before we get to that, let's talk about a little bit how Kanan used Kendrick's character to give back at the Spanish gang, the
Taínos.
The Taínos. So essentially, he basically would, fraternize with some of the guys, whatever, try to sell them these bullshit gift cards. What was it, gift cards?
Yeah,
or
gift cards and a bike.
And the bike.
Shout out to Kanan's big ass on that bike.
Oh, yes.
The bike had the damn basket on it, too.
When the baby boy was going on.
I mean, he did buy it for him, honestly.
Yeah.
It's his.
And I'm pretty sure he broke him off.
Around right with him.
Yeah, he broke him off. But I guess he used Kendrick's character to off a few of those members. So I mean, I thought it was really dope. I think Kendrick was dope. Like I said, sometimes they put these entertainers, these rappers in these positions, and it doesn't fit, or they just disappoint.
Kendrick did a
Kendrick
great
was
job.
all right. Yeah.
Now the reason for Kanan doing that now does this set up nonsense with Dre and Cristobal and all this nonsense?
Right.
It brings back heat towards them. Correct?
Absolutely, yeah. Because now it's like who's off? Because they think they're off in somebody in the inside. So Kanan is like such a wild card in this because he's manipulated the Italians.
Yeah, he doesn't get the credit for his intelligence because he's such a big muscle kind of guy.
Right.
Does all this dirt, but he's just as smart as Ghost, just in a more manipulative way.
Right. Absolutely. No, he's been. I'm just, now we have to keep up with that and see where because we've never really figured out his true motives in all of this.
He's just a grimy person. I mean, but what motives do you have when ghosts try to burn you and kill you in a room? Like, what your motive is to get back at him.
You sent me to jail too first.
Yeah, like your
toasted me. You
right,
sent me to jail.
And then you basically turned my son against me before he killed his son. Like, I think his motive is to get back at Ghost. That's it. And
I think Ghost lives the life normally. That Kanan.
Yeah, he wanted to live.
Yeah.
He wanted that
well,
life.
that was supposed to be his life.
Right.
Before
Absolutely.
he went to jail.
Absolutely. One interesting thing that happened was the meeting between Angela and Tommy, which we've never seen before.
Oh, that was great.
Did we? I don't know if they ever interacted before.
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah. But
when Tommy got back at the hotel was maybe season 2.
Yeah. Right. But now they're like face to face, and she propositions him and saying, "Listen, I can give you immunity. You just gotta help us turn him in."
The tracking device off his car,
which he didn't even know, which is crazy.
Well, she didn't know either until they told her.
So even crazier than that, prior to let's take a step back really quick. She was working with Proctor in order for that step to happen. She asked him a particular question: "Do you want to get your lawyer job back?"
Yeah.
Right. So my concern and my curiosity is, what was the plan between her and Proctor, and how did they get to that scene? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, she's probably going to testify at one of his hearings and basically co-sign him essentially.
So the favor probably would have been something like that.
But that's going to be an interesting partnership. Tommy, Angie, and Brock.
Oh man,
there's going to be a lot of craziness to come from that.
Right, but you know what I did pick up from that scene? She's scared as shit for Tommy. Yeah. Because if you see the way she, first of all, you saw how she grabbed.
Well, you talking about the scene where he meets comes to her apartment?
Right, at her apartment. She grabs the gun, and then when he mentions, like, oh, I like the plant over there, she knows that he was in here before. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And, like, the fear on her face is, she doesn't like him because she fears him.
Right.
But he used that to control her.
Absolutely.
Of course, to keep her in line.
Yes. Right. No, that dynamic was just so ill.
And he hates her.
But also, that's the same game he plays with Proctor.
Right.
And Proctor's also scared shitless of him. So, like, that's how he keeps them.
Well, he killed the man in front of him.
Yeah. In his apartment.
FBI agent.
No. Oh, yeah, Homeland. Yeah, Homeland's scared.
Yeah. So I'm interested in seeing what Tommy will do. I think he might be able to use Angela to kind of protect himself against Teresi, is what I'm guessing. So if you get immunity, then whatever information Teresi's giving the other agents, I don't think it would matter anymore.
Also, speaking of Angela, she's in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Tamika, the black yes. Tamika is on her ass, and Knox and what's the other one?
Mock.
Yeah,
right.
Knox and Mock. They made it clear to her that they know about her shutting down that case with the NYPD.
Right.
So she confronted her about that. I don't know. It's looking like her one ally, which was Tamika, within that force, within the whole prosecution. It's looking like it's getting out of hand.
I just think the dilemma with Angela is, I think it's weird. I think she's trying to catch the big fish, the biggest fish, just so she can't get in trouble.
Which is the Jimenez.
Diversion.
Right, exactly. Like, for instance, if she's able to capture the Jimenez, the biggest drug gang in their radar right now, then as an agency, are you going to say, well...
Yeah, Ghost and Tommy are small time at this point.
Exactly. And I mean, if you're giving immunity to Tommy, how does that protect Ghost in any way, or how does that work?
Right, but Tamika also said that she hired Angie knowing her fault.
Yes.
And knowing what she needed work on. Right. So I felt like she almost hired her to keep an eye on her because she knew either way she was going to run awry. Right. Angela she doesn't have a strong enough backbone, and every move she makes is not made with confidence. It's made like she's real jittery when it comes to certain things. So Tamika knows that. Tamika's also playing her cards well.
Yeah.
Which she said it blatantly with her.
Yeah.
But Angela's been doing well with the case. I mean, the simple fact to initiate the meeting with Tommy, she has a game plan on getting the Jimenez. And I guess it's up to the agency to figure out if it's more important to get the Jimenez or to truly investigate Angela.
I feel like she really wants to get Tommy too, though.
Yeah, but will she give up Tommy for the Jimenez? And I think she will.
Yeah.
And also, from Tommy, Ghost, and Kanan's standpoint, once the Jimenez are out the picture, Dre's there for the taking. Dre's free.
Right.
That's simple.
Right.
And we also saw in this episode, as a continued theme here, his organization, they're having issues.
Yeah, of course.
Him and Cristobal are going to bump heads.
Already.
Yeah,
they're already bumping heads. That's the craziest aspect of this. And going back to Ghost unraveling, so you see where one of the best scenes is during, I guess Dre was going to a meeting and then finding out he signed a contract with Ghost.
Clause, yes.
Right, which basically made his current employer, they couldn't do it. Right. So they ended up having to lay him off, which then directs us into the fundraiser that they both attend. And we meet Tate, who is just, I mean, I hate him more and more every show. But they reached their goal. But at the end, once it's announced that they reached their goal, you have a fully intoxicated Ghost acting out against the preacher, grabs Tate in front of everybody, which now he looks terrible. And we kind of predicted this.
Not even grabs, had him on top of the bar trying to kill him. And he was threatening him where people could hear it.
You saw the old Ghost. A little bit. You saw the yo. You don't know what I'm capable of.
Right, but the old Ghost would never say it. He would just do it.
Right.
You know. So I feel like this is a new type of Ghost. This is a Ghost who doesn't have a handle on himself. The Ghost before, like we said last week, would do things by himself. He would not call Tommy. He wouldn't. He knew the players. He knew how to play with the players.
Very strategic.
This Ghost is off the chain.
He even brought back Stern.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stern.
Right. I thought we saw the end of him, but no, he's around.
He's
But
back.
now he's looking terrible in front of everybody right now, and we see with a very emotional scene. He was supposed to bring the cake.
Mhm.
He forgets to bring the cake. Then we have the sucker lawyer come by, brings the cake, picks up the cake for the family, and unfortunately, it had, like you mentioned, because he was the he's the only person in New York City who didn't know Raina passed away. And so this causes a powerful scene between Tasha and Tariq, where I guess Tasha is like at her wit's end in terms of her emotions.
In terms of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Tariq goes and talks to her and asks her a very serious question. And do you wish I would have died instead of Raina? And she never gave him an answer, which was like
Which to everyone is yes.
confirmed. Yes, like duh.
Raina's not giving me all his troubles.
All of Black
Raina
Twitter,
ain't running around with Kanan.
all of Black Twitter was like, oh duh, yes.
Yeah.
We all would, yes.
I think that right there is going to be the pivotal point of what's going to change him. I think that probably was a climax. I think he had what he needed to get.
Feel like your mother rather have
Yes.
her
Right.
daughter than
I think
me
that was
Because
around.
the mother was
That
his
was
last
it.
ally.
Now he can just run to the streets.
Yeah,
yes.
the mother was the last ally. Remember, the mother was in the car talking to him, and this, that, and
Yep.
the third. And Tasha was really trying to explain to him, like,
Yep.
what this is how we got to where we got in this life, and we wanted to come up from Queens and have our kids not experience the same things. And then you see your mother crying about a cake, and you ask her, and she never even looked up to say, no, I don't feel like that, or yes, she didn't answer. To me,
Right.
not answering is worse than saying yes.
Yeah, and she just walked away.
Yep.
And I listen. I don't think she really means that. Obviously, I think she's
Black
more.
Twitter does.
I don't know if we can agree.
I mean,
He shouldn't have asked me. That's all I'm saying.
hell yeah.
Yo, what?
Um,
He wouldn't have gotten a cake messing around me. But anyway, go
but
ahead.
then I mean, you see this confrontation between Tariq and Ghost when
That's
Ghost,
crazy.
when
Crazy.
Ghost comes home still drunk,
Super drunk.
He presents him with the gift that he got him, the sneakers, and it is like intense.
I mean, he calls Ghost out for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Said, yo, you basically brought Raina, and that's why she loved you the way she did. She
Right.
knew about you, and if she were around to see you now, she would hate you, blah, blah, blah. Kind of hinting that he hates him. He didn't call him dad. He
Right.
didn't call him,
Called him
he called him
He called-
Ghost.
if that's been the biggest theme with this year is that a lot more people are calling him Ghost as opposed to James.
Which is going to hurt.
Well, the whole battle of the show, the whole theme of the show from jump is, no matter how much I want to get out, you keep pulling me back in.
Right.
But,
Right.
you know, among certain people, he's James. He's Jamie. You notice Angie always calls him Jamie, etc. But, like, once you start calling him Ghost, you know what time it is with him.
But do you believe, and this is probably a different, a broader discussion, but like, do you believe in what he's saying in terms of like, I did what I had to do to provide for you guys, and I did make it right. I bought a nightclub. I tried to go legit, but it kept bringing me back in. Do you
Yes.
believe in
Yes.
something what he was saying?
No,
in
I
terms
we
of,
believe
watched
it.
him, yeah.
And on top of that,
do you
Tariq.
think it's wrong? Excuse me. Do
No,
you
I
think-
don't. I don't. But I think that Tariq was antagonizing him. Like, first of all, Ghost was so drunk that Tariq could have taken him. Like,
Yeah.
he could have taken him, and he was for a minute. Because remember, he was trying to tussle with him.
Right.
He ended up
And he
on the floor.
fell, yeah.
So he was tussling with him, and he had an advantage over him, which
Yes.
made Ghost look even weaker than he's been in the last 4
Yes.
episodes.
Right.
Like, it's to the point where he was standing over him, like, Ghost did it. Like, he was mocking him.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So I feel like this is a turning point in their relationship, because how can you respect somebody that you could have taken?
True.
Oh, that's a good point.
Good point.
But I mean, I'm talking about in terms of what Ghost did as a general person who sold drugs, did what he had to do, to kind of like stub your nose and kind of say, well, you're a disgrace, but you benefited greatly from it. We made a lot of money. This family's made a lot of money. You go to the finest schools, you get the freshest sneakers, you get the nicest room, get the video game
The
you
first
want.
line he
right.
said to him, I wanted a life for you better than
Right.
what I had.
Exactly.
And every parent worth a damn, you two are parents.
Right.
Yeah.
Every parent worth a damn feels that way.
Absolutely, yeah.
You understand what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So, like, that makes him different from no one else, regardless of what he does for a living, in that regard.
Right, right. Well, some will say that, I mean, maybe selling drugs isn't the way you should have went. Maybe you could have went the whole.
I get it. And there are bankers who do, undercover
course.
criminal things.
No,
Like,
you're right.
there are people who do things even within legal jobs
That's
that
fair
aren't
enough.
legal
Of course.
for the sake of the dollar. You
Yes.
understand? It's the whole does the end justify the means argument.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we know that people are going to do whatever they do. I mean, we know where we come from, and a lot of people do bad things, but for the sake of the people that they're supposed to be taking care of. The concern that Tariq had was not the fact that he did those things. It was because he didn't tell the truth about it. Because every time he had opportunity to talk and have
I don't think he's old enough to realize he's kind of being protected from that.
When he was oblivious, yes. Right. But when Tariq started noticing things and he gave him opportunity to tell the truth, because now it's
but it still ain't your business. That's why we all hate Tariq.
Now when he's implicated, you see what I'm saying?
Now I mean, yeah.
When he's implicated, now he's inside there. He's literally a part of the biggest story that happened to the family.
Yeah, but let's not excuse Tariq. Let's not forget this kid was sipping lean and chilling with Kanan, which we saw again,
which had nothing to do with his
right. We saw the reunion.
He's just a teenage badass, point blank. Period. And he now has dipped into something that's way over his head, like. And we haven't touched on it, like what Tommy said to him in that car ride,
which was dope. Another great scene,
which was to me the best scene of the season. He
told I got your president,
talking to him, right. Telling him you could drive a car, blah 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 blah. Listen, pull over on the side, and basically said, "I know what you did." He was like, "What do you mean?" And I know where you did it. It's not even that I know what you did. I know exactly.
You warned Dre that we were gonna go try to get you,
and I know when you warned him. It's not like I'm assuming. I know you did it, and I know when you did it, and that's when he said,
and told
"You know
him
what
the
I did."
Repercussions because
exactly.
Of it.
Like now you're playing a dirty game, but now you have to learn the consequences of the game that you play. So to me, Tommy has schooled him the way Ghost and Kanan will never school him.
Right.
They never gave him the consequences of the life. They only, like for Ghost, his father only showed him the glitz and the glamour, the schools, the this, the that. Tommy's saying, listen, I'm in some deep shit because of what you did.
Right.
And this is what's going to happen to me. I'm
Dre
either going to end up dead or in jail, or I'm going to have to kill somebody.
Dre was, Dre would have been gone and would not have been a problem right now.
Right. And on top of that, Tariq is also talking a lot of big man talk, meaning he's saying to him, yeah, I did it, but I don't regret it because I had to do what I had to do. Like, I don't regret doing what I did.
Right.
And he basically said, you're just like your father.
Yeah. It's been crazy.
That was one of the most poignant scenes of the season.
Absolutely.
This episode was full of them.
Yeah. I think it was really good. It was really whatever. Anyway, so I mean, at the end of the episode, we see the reunion with Kanan and Tariq. And that's another thing we got to worry about with Tariq and Kanan. Does whatever motives Kanan has is basically he has everybody in his pocket now, which is wild. And then now we also see after the confrontation between Tommy and Angela, she gets another visitor, and that being Ghost. After I guess he meets with the priest and tries to find God and wants to be a better man. Let me be a better man and go see my side chick again.
Yeah, pretty much.
What?
Not even 10 minutes later.
Or maybe, but that's the crazy thing about that. I think it's a lot more to that scene than, they're going to rekindle something.
Right.
I think there's something deeper.
I don't. And why? Let me tell you why. Not on her part.
I think on his part.
Yes. Because you call her to look for sneakers for your son. You just want to see her. You want to have what you had before in season 2. Like you want to get that Angela back, but she's not there, and you can see because she's like, "Why did you call me here?"
I think it could be something to the extent of he might be willing to cooperate with Angela and the authorities. That could be a possibility.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, ratting. Teresi, he made a statement. And I think every hood dude, gangster, whatever,
and
hated
Tommy,
that statement.
And Tommy said it.
That whole,
yep.
I forgot how he said it, but it was basically along the lines
of only a rat if he rats on somebody.
Thank you.
That he doesn't care for or something or whatever.
Right.
That he's loyal to.
That he's loyal to.
Right.
That's one of the most. So now to me, that just confirmed that he's definitely a rat because he said certain things not only to Tommy, but remember that discussion he was having with his wife, and she was like, "Call it what you want to call it. You're still a rat.
If you rat, you rat.
Right?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So."
And but the crazy part is he said it to Tommy, but he was talking about Tommy. He's sitting next to somebody who he said, "Listen, I'm your father," blah blah blah. But he doesn't care anything about the man sitting next to him and basically saying, I'm saying this to you, but it's about you. Like, that's a deep scene where somebody's explaining a life story that you don't even know is happening to you.
Yes. I think Tommy's going to take the immunity. Because I think that's what that whole meeting was with Angela was about.
Yes. Here's the thing. I think that back to what I said originally. The reason why I think the two of them are conspiring is because of that scene right there. So afterwards, when Tommy heard what he heard from Teresi, all of a sudden now he wanted to go back and meet Angie at the apartment, and he wanted to use that same tool that he now knows was following him. And what I'm thinking as being that he knows that that tool was originally coming from Cooper Sacks and Mock, he's going to lure them into something to pretty much get them into a deep end later on.
Right.
Think about that for a second.
It's crazy. No, I think this episode was the best thus far. But looking at the previews for next week's episode, looks like it's gonna be lame. Didn't give us much, but we'll be watching.
Yeah,
most definitely.
This one didn't give us much either, as far as previews go. So you never know.
So this was pretty good. All right, let's go around. Start with your top 3 winners and top 3 losers. Bino, who would you like to give your top 3 winners and losers to?
It's gonna be hard, but winners already. Kanan as usual.
Yep.
I mean, Kanan is just everything he wants, he gets right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All his schemes and everything he's doing is working to fruition. The Tommy thing, boom, he got that. Tommy and the Italians aren't connected anymore. The killing of the Tainos, he got that. That's going to bring about drama within Dre and Cristobal and all those guys. I mean, what else you want from him right now?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Kanan's got that. Who else?
That's all I got for winners this week.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold you. This mosquito winning too.
Shit
winning, B.
And no, you don't have any losers as far as
Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy's a huge loser this week.
Right.
For obvious reasons. He's getting kicked out the family.
Right.
He might have put a wedge between his father and Sammy too.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You ain't looking
you
at
put a
somebody
gun in my face. You about to kill me. Like you can bullshit.
And
me
you
be
pulled
like,
the trigger.
The gun was live.
Yeah, it was like,
You pulled
I
the
knew it was
trigger,
gonna
bro.
work.
Like
I don't know if y'all ever held a gun. It ain't that damn light for you to know.
No,
if,
not
like,
at all.
Not one's in the chamber or something.
Right.
Like, come on, cut it out.
The bullets ain't that heavy.
Cut it the hell out. You know what I mean? So Tommy definitely is in a bad place. Obviously, Ghost is in a bad place.
Yeah.
Even his ally he brought back. God damn it. Even his ally he brought back.
Listen to you closely.
Yo,
man.
what? Is this Kanan? This
doing a
shit
lecture,
won't
man.
die. Like, Jesus.
He's doing a lecture.
let me sting you, man.
Somebody burn the studio. It's ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, Ghost, even bringing back Simon Stern and looking bad in front of him. Yeah. His relationship with Tate is falling apart, obviously. Tasha. Everything around him is crumbling. Yeah. I mean, he's just, it is what it is.
I don't know if he necessarily recovers, man. Like I said, that's why I think there may be some cooperation in the future.
I don't know. I can't see any of them besides Teresi cooperating with these leaders.
Because now, I mean, if you think about it, Ghost is not having, he's not going to get his life back. We're not, the Ghost that we saw season 1, episode 1, everything, he's definitely not having that.
He's going to end up like a good feather living somewhere in Wisconsin?
I don't know.
I don't see him cooperate with the government. Because that's what's next. You cooperate.
Yeah, remember,
I think he just wants to
already.
be, like he told the preacher, he just wants to be a better man now.
Yeah, okay.
He just wants to be a better
And
man
then 10
now.
seconds later, he
This
does something
isn't
bad again.
power if he's in Wisconsin living at
Well, I mean, who knows?
I don't know, man.
All right, and that was your last loser?
That'd be my last one for the
All right, who is your top 3 winners and losers?
My top 3 first has to go to Stern.
Okay.
Because I feel like Stern
As
is
a winner or a loser?
A winner.
Okay.
He is like a father figure now to Ghost because he's saying to him,
to him as
like,
the
watch
black.
out, listen, you train Dre, like, calm down. It'll happen for you. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And even though he meant him no good in season 1 and 2, you see the way he's speaking to him, he's basically coaching him into saying, like, these are the things I basically didn't learn with you.
He respects
remember,
him, yeah.
right? And remember, like, he's like, everything that I threw at you, you kind of wiggled your way out, and you will wiggle your way out of this one.
Pardon me for interrupting you a second, because when he last left Stern, he scumbagged him for his wife, remember?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, how are they even on good terms now?
Yeah, right.
It's a very strange
Right.
dynamic.
Money.
The second winner for me is the baby because she came back.
Oh
for the
my
second-
gosh,
for
she
the
made
second
another
time.
appearance.
I mean,
That
Judy
was,
going
Winslow
on?
St.
That
Patrick?
was-
Yes.
That was good. That was
Yes,
good.
Judy
Yeah.
Winslow St. Patrick is back at the house. Yes.
I was very surprised he had
It was
the
really
table.
quick though. It was really quick.
We saw her
but-
face, though.
But we saw her face. We
Yeah,
saw
Last
her
week
face.
we saw her Afro puff, but
Yeah.
you actually seen her face.
We did see her face. Yes. Finally.
The third winner has to go to Tamika because
Okay.
I love the fact that Tamika even said, "Listen, you know, Angela became the DA, whatever, the last episode of last season. It took to episode 5 for us to know what Tamika's hand was because we never even really knew that Tamika had a hand. So I love the fact that she came on and basically was like, look, I know I was the one that hired you. I know that, but I also know your weaknesses.
Right.
The my top 3 losers. go to Tariq because you got in that car with Tommy and you think that everything is all good, which means you're so naive and you're not even realizing how naive you are. Mm-hmm. 2 is definitely Ghost because it's like you're now digging deep into alcoholism again, and it's hard to get out. Killing people is one thing. Beating an addiction to me is going to be way harder than that. So I feel like that addiction is really going to hold him down. Mm-hmm. And the third loser for me has to be Teresi.
Yeah.
Teresi is definitely going to be my third loser, and it's obvious because it's like you're playing both hands, and I don't think, and you can tell every time. Like, I know that Voice said that he thinks that Teresi and Tommy are working together. In Teresi's face when he met with Mock and the other one, you can tell he felt bad by saying those things. Like, he looked like he didn't even want to say it because he's growing a relationship with this man he never knew was his son. Right. Well, he knew, but he couldn't find him. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like you can tell in the pit of his stomach that he does not feel right about doing this.
Right. No, I agree with you. No, those are good choices. As far as I have, I'm going to put Angela as a winner just because she is now has somebody in her corner, that being Tommy and Proctor. Like, I think she's using her pull to her advantage, which I think will benefit her at the end. So look out for that. Another winner of mine would have to be Kanan, who, like Bino mentioned, that he's basically playing. I think he's like the king on the chessboard right now. He's playing. Mm-hmm. He's playing everybody at the moment, and he's basically moving any piece he wants. And third, I would give. I don't necessarily want to call this person a winner, but I guess the lawyer. The lawyer boyfriend, Tasha
Silver. No one wants to name him anymore.
Right. I don't think he deserves his name. But anyway, no, because just because I think he's putting a certain perspective and letting it be known how serious it is with this whole gun situation. Yeah. And the fact that NYPD is not coming here because they feel like coming to your home.
And they're not coming there with that type of warrant to play with you.
Exactly. They definitely believe you guys had something to do with it.
Yeah.
So, and for him to alert her and let her be on that page, then, and also I'm gonna give it to Kendrick Lamar's character.
Definitely.
I thought he was really, thought he was really, really dope.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't overacting.
I am shocked at how good he was.
No, he was good. I thought he was really dope. Hopefully, he does more acting. Losers, obviously, Ghost, because he is now unraveled and everybody's now seeing it. The family, the public.
Business partners.
After he does a great move in protecting himself against Dre. He just ends up, right back to square one and falling under. So, hopefully he's able to recover with that. Tommy's another loser because now he's in a compromised position and now he doesn't know who he can trust or what decision he needs to make to protect himself. And my third loser would have to be. Who would I give it to? But I would say, I want to say Sam, just because you trusted somebody in Tommy, and you got jerked again by this kid, just because he's the son of your main guy, and your main guy was ready to off you.
Yeah, like he told Tommy, yo,
like he was
things have been chaos since you've come into the picture.
Yo, you were about to get off.
He really hates him.
Yeah.
He really hates him.
Stayed alike. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
that. I mean, he's about to get off by his boy.
But Teresi also mentioned that's how Sam's father used to treat him.
Right.
He said it. Mm-hmm. He said it
when
to.
we were in the car.
Right. He said it to him like, listen, at the end of the day, like that's how like I was treated like shit. Like so I feel like it's learned behavior.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No,
like
absolutely.
just like Tariq is learning that from Ghost to only be about himself, which I never realized until now, is the same way Teresi was taught.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, Voice, who are your top winners and top losers?
I'm going to definitely give it to, it's unanimous, I'm going to give it to Kanan.
Okay.
Kanan knows exactly what he's doing. He's revealing his cards more and more. He's causing disruption. And with that disruption, he's gaining more power and controlling the minds of people with manipulation. So the way that he's going about everything, his cards, it's going to wind up being, if everything goes right, he's going to be in control of at least the drug game. I'm going to give it to Dre. The reason why is because he suffered a major L, but it was temporary. He
still doesn't have a job because you saw that.
He doesn't have a job, but the thing is, he's still networking with the right people to get what he wants. He didn't allow that to even make him give up. He was going to not present in that club, but he wound up being there anyway, and he still wound up defeating Ghost. You get what I'm saying? So that would be my number 2. Number 3, I'm gonna give it to Blanca.
Okay.
The reason why I'm going to give it to Blanca.
She made an appearance.
She made the appearance. It was brief,
the house.
but she is the reason why that detective came back. Because obviously, like you guys mentioned originally, it's personal. Yeah. She was not going to let this go just because Angie just came and destroyed the whole evidence case and everything like that. She found a way in, and the way in is this person that came back with that one.
Yeah. Also, you got to figure. I'm not sure if she's aware of how dirty Ray Ray was as a cop.
Right.
But a cop still got killed.
Okay, right.
Which they take personally anyway.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but if she finds that out though, do you think she lays off the investigation?
No,
I don't think she lays off. It may not be as emotionally invested,
right?
But I don't think she lays off. But as it stands right now, a cop got killed,
right?
And
so no, we can't just ignore the vigilante,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right, and you solving that murder can only help you,
right?
Like it's only gonna push her up in the ranks,
right?
Right. You have the losers.
Yes, I do. My loser definitely is going to be Ghost. Aside from the things that you guys mentioned. He had everything going for him. He won. He beat Dre for that one scene. Everything was going on his club and everything like that. And at the end, he allowed the alcohol to get the best of him to the point that he allowed Tate to get on his nerves to publicly be aggressive.
Tate is, played this guy, man. Unbelievable.
Yes. He's literally getting sucked in. He's just taking the bait over and over and over again.
That's why it was so interesting to see Tate sitting across from his old Tate, Simon.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So interesting, that whole dynamic.
Yes.
That they're all connected and know each other and all of this.
That is something. Definitely going to give it to Tony Teresi as well. He was the person that came in when he first met Ghost. He was the man of power. He knew all the information. He had loyalty everywhere. You couldn't get a word past him, let alone a letter, without him knowing about it. And to come to a particular scene and allow Vincent to take control and tell you what to do, and if you don't, I'm going to off you, that literally made him less powerful and his credibility got shot.
Yeah, and also him trying to redefine the meaning of snitching is not.
Yes,
that
right there.
Like, come on. It's not, listen,
I'm like,
there's no loyalty.
Even Sammy the Bull Gravano, who loves power, was like, what is that?
Oh, yeah.
Your last loser.
My last loser, it's a little difficult. I'm going to give it to Diego.
Okay.
The reason why I'm giving it to Diego,
He wasn't in the.
Oh, he had a very key scene. Actually.
Oh, that's right. Yes, he
with
did.
him and
Dre.
Dre.
Yeah, and Dre. Yeah.
that scene that he has where he is now showing that there's a battle between him and his sister, and the fact that he's allowing still his sloppiness, you get what I'm saying, to get a hold of what's going on Dre and allowing to threaten him. He's not originally how he was when he was intelligent enough to know exactly what people are about and how.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
He dies or he's the one to take the fall for
Yes.
him.
Right.
One or the other with him.
Right.
He's again messing up something that he, again, this is the success. Anything he touches, he ruins.
Right.
And now he's trying to do something on the side with Dre. Mind you, the sister's doing something to tie with Dre, which is going to put Dre in a predicament between those two.
It's power hungry. He's ego driven, and it's a bad look. This is G Money in New Jack City. It's that type of shit.
And he's
Cutting a
showing
side deal from the boss
Exactly.
is gonna lead down to a bad.
And he's showing
road
his
for you.
desperation, and he's showing his weakness. The reason why he's acting the way he's acting.
Right. All right, man. So, yeah, man. I think this was a great episode. Probably the best one. I think everybody would agree the best one so far this season.
It's been better and better.
Yeah, man. It's been a dope one. So, thank you for checking this out. This has been another edition of the SMB TV presents the Power Review Show. For Bino, Crystal.
No blanket
voice.
today, by the way.
I know,
too.
no
She feeling
blanket
warm
today.
Can't say about the time we were watching the show, but
For Preach, we're out of here. Also, subscribe to the page and also check us out every Sunday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Facebook Live or YouTube Live on SMB TV. All right, we're out of here. Peace.
He's like.